Hi and welcome to my video. Today I'm going to be talking about the internet phenomenon that is NPCs.
Have you guys heard the term NPC?
No, what is that?
Okay, so listen, in World of
NPC?
The term NPC has its roots in gaming and means non-playable character. In the past 5 years, it has gone from being a right-wing slur to a viral TikTok trend. Videos where people pretend to be non-playable characters have gained popularity online, and now people are also making videos describing what it means to be an NPC in real life, adding weight to the theory that life is just one big simulation. In this video, I'm going to explain what the concept of an NPC is and how it has evolved as a meme or trend online. I'm also going to look at the possible reasons for why there has been a surge of growth in the interest of NPCs, as well as looking at the darker sides of this trend and what might be going on a subconscious level when we normalize this practice of identifying unfamiliar people as NPCs. When you search NPC on TikTok, you'll be confronted with results that have tens of millions of views, with the highest volume of videos being posted between spring of 2022 and today. The type of content varies, and videos are rarely about actual video games. One of the most watched NPC videos has over 25 million views and shows a group of boys pretending to be Grand Theft Auto NPCs. Another one is a selfie video of a kid in the school hallway where he shows his disdain for passing pupils and captions it telling us that he is surrounded by too many NPCs. An NPC in gaming is any character that's not controlled by a player. They usually stand in the same place and have limited dialogue which they repeat when spoken to. It emerged outside the context of gaming when in 2016 people on 4chan and Reddit started using it as a slur to describe people who do not think for themselves. It was quite quickly adopted by right-wingers in a mass trolling campaign directed at snowflake liberals. The idea was that the left had been brainwashed by woke culture. The term NPC has since evolved in its meaning, but its message of sheeple conformism or general state of unthinking remains the same. The use of the word is more widespread now, as people use it to describe people that they meet in their everyday lives, people that they view as lacking critical thinking. This idea that NPCs exist in the real world is a concept that has been memified through video and spread across the internet. The most common type of video that you might be familiar with is a more theatrical take, where someone pretends to be an NPC. They do this by enacting robotic game character-like movements to an audience of unsuspecting onlookers. TikTok star Conor Mather started doing these NPC videos in just October, and they have completely blown up, to the point where he now refers to himself as the real-life NPC, and even gives tutorials on how to best embody an NPC in real life. But not only are people looking at NPCs in a physical sense, the characteristics of an NPC's persona is also being explored.
So if you're on this list, you are not a real person. You are an NPC, a figment of our imagination.
Statistically speaking, most of you guys are NPCs.
There's even an Are You an NPC test, and the first question is, do you only talk to people when they approach you? Supposedly the logic here is that if you do in fact talk to people who haven't approached you, then you are the NPC. The way in which this trend has snowballed is so dystopian to me. It's as though it's trying to stigmatize interacting with people in real life. The term NPC feels like the inverse of main character syndrome. Not only are you the main character, but everyone around you is a non-playable character or an extra. The videos which frame NPCs as having a quest of sorts or being there to move the plot forward are pretty wholesome when the people respond well.
I'm looking for a quest, this is true. Do you have any tasks for me to do?
Sure.
All right, what's up?
See if there's any other Paw Patrol print material.
All right, it has to be Paw Patrol.
Yeah.
I personally like this style of NPC video because it relates the concept of NPCs in real life to being entertaining, because real life is like a game and not because everyone around you is void of thought or doesn't really exist. But what is causing this increased interest in NPCs? Well, there's something about pairing a game soundtrack to a British memes video of a woman going berserk at her neighbour that is just kind of genius.
You back off! You stop vandalising my fucking son's car. You're a bully. You're a thief.
Viewing content with this gamified lens just adds a new dimension of humour that people seem to really like. It's also no surprise that this NPC trend has gained traction post-pandemic, as the increased digitisation of our lives has led to a heightened interest in the simulation hypothesis, a 2003 theory that suggests we live in a Matrix-style computer simulation. Many NPC TikToks include the hashtag simulation or simulation theory, with commenters usually reflecting on their own existential doubts. But for some of Gen Z, they are the first generation who have had social media access their whole lives. The way that they understand themselves could be more informed by their activity online than their interactions in real life. The internet is a limitless place, and it's more likely to make an impression on a young person than sitting at a bus stop and noticing that the people around them are sentient beings too. Either way, it's fair to say a huge chunk of the average person's day is spent online, where complex algorithms are evolving to understand our many preferences, no matter how nuanced, and they deliver us content accordingly. We are watching other people's content, but in the code behind the algorithm, we are also observing a reflection of ourselves. prevalence of AI and personalization in tech means we're accustomed to our worlds being highly tailored to us. The coexistence of someone else's very different worlds might seem less fathomable to us as a result. Not only that, but our lives now have the propensity to be vastly different from that of our neighbours. This lack of familiarisation with the lives of the people around us, combined with an absence of community, probably contributes to this idea that other people mightn't really be real. But there is a very dark side to this trend. Aside from the inevitable instances of people harassing strangers in an attempt to go viral,
is this my Uber prank?
Hello.
Hello.
What are you doing?
Uber.
I'm sorry?
Let's go. I want to sit here, innit?
No.
Goodbye.
some of the videos rub me up the wrong way because they have a unique justification that essentially says it's okay to bother other people because other people are nothing more than non-playable characters. That is pretty sinister, especially when you consider that this conviction might be based off of someone's appearance, how they carry themselves, or even their type of job. Cultural myopia or cultural blindness is the belief that one's particular culture is appropriate to all situations and relevant to all other individuals. This trend of identifying someone as an NPC is essentially an othering of the people who don't fit your particular worldview.
It was cold, it was winter time, and I'm looking to do some fixing on this bike that I ride every day.
But most of these videos show kind of a generational myopia where they're failing to understand that people of a different age group will engage differently to them.
On Trump or Malcolm X?
Square's different?
Yeah, listen.
I wonder why that is.
Standing on it, that's why it sounded different. Okay.
For sure.
A lot of the supposed NPCs are just elderly people who seem a bit lonely. I get that it's supposed to be funny, but non-player characters to me feels like a more ominous version of the ordinary people memes. The trend is largely a joke, but it gets a bit darker when you consider the people that will take it seriously. Seeing other people as non-playable characters could serve as a personal justification for someone who is inclined to act without empathy. I think Robert Crimo, a high school mass murderer whose actions were largely fueled by his desire to become recognized as a famous serial killer, is a great example of someone who would have rebelled in this trend. Because it's a trend that reinforces this idea that you can see yourself as a creator and anyone else around you as having a life that's void of meaning. I personally believe that even people who aren't vulnerable to deranged mental states could be primed into having less empathy for others when they're repeatedly exposing themselves to messaging that essentially says other people's thoughts, feelings, and actions mightn't necessarily be real. The NPC hashtag currently has over 2 billion views on TikTok, and I'd like to think that as time moves on, we will start collectively assessing the dangers of these hyper trends. And while a lot of the videos are harmless and funny, it's quite clear from some of them that not everybody gets that it's a joke. This is my 4th video essay, so thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that someone found it interesting, and please like and subscribe. Oh my god, I've never said that before.